Welcome to Dorset. Today we're at St Oswald's Bay and we're here for sunrise. Great to see you all again. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so sorry it's been such a long time since I've been on. Bottom line, I've had some terrible times out. Not really got anything worth showing you, and I just didn't want to put up a video that was just rubbish, to be fair. And I've had a lot of trouble getting out at the moment. I've been so busy with other things, so you know, it just had to take a back seat for a little while. And you know, I always want the videos to be of quality rather than just keep banging them out one after the other and, you know, not really giving too much thought to what the content is. So I hope you guys don't mind, and I hope you'll all stick with me. But I'm probably not going to be as regular with the videos now. It's probably going to be a case of every 2 weeks at best, just purely because the time is just so limited. But we're getting into that autumn season, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's going to be a few nice conditions, good chance to get out. Today we're at St Oswald's Bay, and the area we're actually on is called Dungy Head, and it overlooks St Oswald's just down here. It wasn't my first choice of venue for today. I was actually headed for Lulworth Cove, but as you'll see just the other side, completely clear there, and really looking not very inspiring at all. So I decided to make a little bit of a last minute decision to come up to Dungy Head here, and we've got a little bit of cloud just in the background, and the thought process is as the sun comes up, it's going to be nice and clear there, so it's going to shine right down all on this beautiful coastline here, which is all chalk, and it's going to hopefully glow up really, really well. And the cloud, I'm really hopeful we'll get a little bit of reflected light off the sun as it comes up. Maybe we'll get a little bit of colour if we're really lucky, but it's a little bit of a gamble on this one. But I felt the other direction, there was really, really nothing worth shooting, and it just wouldn't have been worthwhile. So I've come up here, taken a gamble, we'll see how we get on. It really is a stunning view up here, and it's a real shame because it just doesn't get shot very often. And the main reason being is just behind you've got Durdle Door, and just the other side you've got Lulworth Cove, and this is in the middle. So it's a bit of a poor brother situation with this one. It doesn't get photographed anywhere near as much, which is a real shame, because for me it's one of the better venues, to be fair. And more importantly, you don't see a lot of people up here, and that really suits me down to the ground. The sun is looking like it's going to come up and it's going to catch on some of this cloud right immediately above me. So I'm hoping as the sun comes up and it changes on its axis, it's going to light up this area behind. But as you can probably hear from the sound today, it's very, very windy up here at the moment. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. We might end up having to go down to slightly lower ISOs in order to avoid any camera shake. But the cloud just to the side is starting to colour. So I'm holding out a little bit of hope that we might be all right. Well, I hope everyone's been keeping well, and you've all been getting out and getting a few good shots. It's been some challenging conditions recently, and the weather forecasts, they haven't helped. They've been absolutely wrong all the time. Even this morning, the forecast was completely clear, but I had a look out anyway, and I could see this bank of cloud moving across. So I thought it was worth taking a gamble and coming out and having a look. So yeah, it's, as I say, challenging times, and you know, you just have to keep plodding away when it's like that. And if the weather forecasts don't look right, just look out the window and make a judgment call, and often you'll be probably, you know, closer to it than the weathermen were. So it is worth having a look. The shot that we've got today is a particularly nice area. You've got this little bit of headland, and as it curves all the way down, it goes round to the coast and back up, and it's a bit of a spiral. And in terms of composition, you know, the golden spiral itself is something that really, really is a real desirable form of composition. So we've got a really nice comp here. We're going to shoot on a wide angle. I'm going on the 15mm lens at the moment, just to try and incorporate this big rocky headland area that we've got over here, and of course all of the big sort of cliffs just over here. But I'm going to get shooting because the sun's just starting to colour up now, and hopefully these clouds will kick off a little bit. So I'm going to get to it. We're going to shoot on f/16 today, purely because we've got such a large amount of foreground here and, you know, focusing right the way through to the scene, and we want to get that all in focus. Now, of course, we can focus stack, but as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of focus stacking. If I can get it in one shot, that's what I'd sooner do. So we're shooting at f/16. We're playing around with ISO at the moment. We have dropped it to around ISO 200. Just to try and combat this wind a little bit, because we're still getting a fairly long shutter speed at the moment, and you know, ideally we don't want any camera shake or anything like that. But the sky is colouring quite nicely. As I say, it's not got that intense glow that we really are after, but you know, it's as good as we'll probably get at the moment. In terms of composition as well, we're slightly breaking the rules. Usually you'd stick to something like a rule of thirds here, and you'd have a third sky and 2/3 foreground, and you know, the rest of the scene. But because the sky is so interesting here, we're going to try and play around with that, and we're going to go maybe a 50-50 split to incorporate 50% sky, 50% foreground, and the rest of the scene, just to try and get a decent image with as much interest as possible. But it looks quite nice, I have to say. I'm very pleased that we did come out and make the effort, because it wasn't looking too clever this morning, and you know, diverting has obviously paid off. So fingers crossed, we're still going to get something decent. That intense light is just starting to strike on the cliff edges right down at the end of shot, and it really does look beautiful. I'm very tempted to get the long lens on and really just nail those cliffs there. You've got the cliff of Swire Head just here, which is the big sort of tooth-like one, and that's just the other side of Durdle Door, and at the moment that's just got the very tip of it glowing up. And I'm really keen to get it, but what I don't want to do, I don't want to miss this shot where this headland here lights up. That's what I'm really after. So I think I'm going to have to just resist, hold fire, and wait for this to go, because it's just starting to go on the tip of it there. When that happens, although we won't have that sky going on, we'll just have this beautiful lit up foreground, and it should look really nice and just help everything in the scene here. So yeah, going to hold on for that one, I think. Well, that sun's up now, and it's really intensely coming onto this headland here, and it does look absolutely beautiful. We've still not got in the shot with our shadow at the moment, which is fantastic, but it's not going to be that much longer. As soon as it strikes this particular area of foreground here, we're going to have to probably move. I've done a couple of shots just over to the left here as well, just to try and get a different perspective on it, and you know, just to try and sort of show a little bit more. But as you can see from the cliffs just down at the end, just on here, it's all glowing up, and we've got the headland glowing up here, and it's not going to be too much longer, about maybe 10-15 minutes before it really catches the cliff here, and it gives us, hopefully, fingers crossed, a beautiful shot. But we're definitely going to have to sort of change up tactic then, go on a slightly longer lens, move a little bit further to the back and to the side to try and get that shot just right. But I'm going to keep shooting whilst that beautiful golden light is on this rock face here. It does look absolutely fantastic. We're underexposing ever so slightly here because we don't want to ruin any of that light on these rocks, so I'd sooner be able to bring some of the other sort of elements of the exposure back in post. But yeah, it really is looking superb at the moment, and yeah, I'm really glad I came out. It was a definite 50-50 gamble, but it looks like it's really paying off, and it's good to be back. You are very limited here. The compositions that you've got available to you are all very much the same, but I mean, it is a particularly nice composition with that spiral into the shot. So, you know, it's just going to be some variations on that. So unfortunately, there's not going to be loads and loads of different shots from, you know, loads of angles. We are quite limited here, but, you know, I do feel like this is the best, and, you know, it's well worth sort of hanging around and just making the most of that one particular composition. The wind is really getting up now. We're down to, you know, very sort of short shutter speeds, and we're back onto ISO 50, which is rather nice to be at that sort of level on here, because we get a much cleaner shot. But earlier on, it was you know, it was causing a lot of camera shake, and you know, we had to really sort of up those ISOs. But yeah, it looks good. The cloud cover's not as great as it could be, but it's nice. It's just working. There's just enough to make this shot really count. The glow on those rocks, a little bit of cloud there, perfect. As I said earlier on, Dungy Head up here, it's not one of those shots that's really common out there. It doesn't get done all the time. It's probably more popular to go down and shoot into the St Oswald's Bay itself, and it's a beautiful area for seascapes, and I've actually done a video from down there, so I'll link that up for you, as it can really give some fantastic results. But up here it's a really unique sort of scene, and it offers something completely different. So I'm really pleased that I could come and show you this particular one, and I really do hope you've enjoyed it. I think we got one or two reasonable pictures. The sunlight wasn't quite what we were after right at the end, but I think, you know, we've come out all right with it. So I'll stick a couple of these pictures up. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys, and it'd be really great to catch up with you all. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed being back on the Jurassic Coast with me today. I've certainly loved being here, and it's great to see you all again and finally be back out. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It really does make all the difference and helps the video get out there, and I'd really appreciate it as well. And if you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. There's loads more content to come, and hopefully this is getting to a good time of year, so you might see some interesting sights in Dorset with some wonderful conditions. Great to see you all again. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.